This is the 21st episode of God's Chosen podcast. Today we are going to talk about love and etc. I feel like this topic needs more attention. Let's dive in. Enjoy.
What up, what up? God's Chosen, how y'all doing? Hopefully y'all doing all right. So tonight, I want to talk about the big L. You know what I mean? I want to talk about love tonight. I want to talk about that L word. I was sitting here thinking about how many problems would be solved if we just actually really loved each other. If we actually really loved ourselves. I mean, like, if everybody was given love, the kind of love that they needed from birth to the present, I wonder what the world would be like. If everybody was given that unconditional, supportive love, that love where you're not asking for anything in return. You're just giving love because that's who you are. And that's what the energy you're choosing to be in, right? And they say that's like one of the highest frequencies is love. You know, when you're coming from a place of love, it is amazing how things just flow and how things just come to you. A lot of the things that we may be in need of, the things that we're fighting to attain, we are fighting to attain those things. Sometimes we're coming from a place of lack and we feel like we don't have enough. So we put out more effort and we work harder and we try to get whatever it is that we want. But we don't even know that we're operating from a lack mindset or a lack energy because it appears to be working, right? But you got to think about it. How much work are you putting in versus what you're getting back? Is it really an equal exchange? Are you like practically killing yourself to get money, to get wealth? I understand we all need money because things cost money. I understand that it brings a certain level of comfort to life. Yes, no doubt. But do you also understand that there are people out there doing what they love and they're making money too? And sometimes they're making a lot of money and they're not even working that hard. They're just in the flow of a love and abundance vibration where everything just seems to come to them. New opportunities just come to them. New money-making ideas come to them. You know, ways to prosper, things to do, different avenues open up, different doors open up, financial opportunities where everything just comes to them like they're not even forcing it. They just chilling, doing them. And here comes $1,000. Here comes 100,000. Here come $1 million. They just chilling. And the money is just coming to them. You know, that's a state that we should all aspire to be in one of abundance, moving in the frequency of love. Because people think like doing grimy stuff is how you get money fast and you come up on money quickly. But it's quite the opposite. That short money don't last. Short money don't last at all. I met so many people that go for the quick bag and they don't even understand. You might look good now. It might be sweet now, but it's not going to last. Like, if you're going to put your energy into something, you might as well put your energy into something that's going to last. Okay, you got the cash, you flashing for a week or two, you flashing for a season. But if you actually put in the work into something that's beneficial for everybody, then everybody is going to win. And it can be some long term where now you don't have to work as hard. Now you just got money coming in, and now you can think on other things to bring in more money. You know what I mean? But everybody ain't got the long-term vision. A lot of people just got that short-sightedness where they think, like, this is going to come in forever. This short money going to be forever. Like, it's usually not the case. Speaking from experience, I know a lot of people in the game, and now they're out the game. The game that swallowed them up because you only had a little time before things get hot, before you can't move how you was moving because you're too big now. You're too big. You can't do what you was doing before. All eyes are on you. You doing the most. You flashing. You know you doing way too much. You on everybody's radar. Everybody see you. All the haters see you. All the girls see you. The other guys see you. The block sees you. So it's not going to be long before somebody want what you got. Somebody with more hunger. Somebody with, they don't want to do it the slow way. They don't want to build anything on their own. They don't want to go out there and grind and hustle like you did. Instead, they like, oh, I'm going to just take it from him. If everybody had a different mindset, like everybody could actually win. But, you know, when you have that crabs in a barrel mentality, everybody just trying to pull the other one down and nobody's trying to uplift anybody. We have situations where people get hurt, families get destroyed, lives get turned upside down because people was trying to get that quick bag, that quick money. If there's one thing I've learned just from watching all of that go down, just from watching it on the side, it's like, it's really not worth it. A lot of my family is behind bars for doing that, going after that quick money. A lot of them are living where they was once living the high life. Now, not so much. Not so much. Now they have to borrow and they have to beg. You know, I really think one of the things that we should all be taught is the energy of money and how to really get money. Because people think getting money is going out there and working for it, going out there and hustling for it, going out there and stealing it. Those are ways. But that's not how, when you really wealthy, that's not how you get money. You get money in a totally different way. Like, I've studied these guys. Like, a lot of wealthy people, they don't even work for their money. And what I mean is, they've gotten to a point where, yeah, initially they hustled and they grinded and they got their dough up. But once they achieve a certain level of success, and it don't got to be like nothing groundbreaking, you could do a lot with 50,000. You could do a lot with 100,000. You could start wherever you at. But the point is, instead of working for their money, they let their money work for them. And that's how they really began to see the leaps and the growth in their finances that really shifted their wealth, shifted how they perceived money. Their whole mindset changed. And I think we need to like pay attention to the roles of mentorship. Like, that's a big deal. Like, when I was growing up, I had a few mentors in certain areas, like in arts, writing, speaking, but he never really had a mentor in the ways of finance. Nobody really taught me that game. I had to study that and learn that for myself. And a lot of times people out here, unfortunately, they don't want to get better. So they will never put their head in a book. They will never try to study and learn anything new that could be of a benefit to them and their family. Sad to say, but they say if you want to hide something, put it in a book. And it's quite true for the majority. Quite true, unfortunately. But I feel like if more people were in love with themselves, more people were in love with treating people the right way, being a good example for others, and stop thinking like life is so basic and simple where you just get to go out there and do whatever you want with no repercussions and no consequences. Unfortunately, somebody failed you. If you think you could just go out there and do whatever you want without consequences and repercussions, someone failed you. It starts at home. A lot of us, that's the first place that we see what life looks like, right? Good or bad, it shapes us going forward. The things we see growing up shapes us, helps us to become the person that we are. The experiences that we have mold us. The decisions that we make, see, the experiences help foster the decisions, and the decisions actually lead to the person that we are. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. That old saying, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What does that mean? Well, that means that you can see who a person is by the things that they do. You can see who a person is by the things that they say. And you'll see this over time. You're not going to see it right away sometimes. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't, but you got to use your intuition. But if you see a person and they're consistently behaving in a particular way, that's telling you who they are. They're showing you who they are. You cannot expect anything different. You cannot expect them to be how you think they should be. If they continuously show you who they are, you gotta believe them. If they showing you they're a grimy person, they're a liar, they're a thief, if they showing you they're a cheat, yo, they not lying to you. They showing you who they are. It's you who's failing to see it because for whatever reason, you're taking up for them. For some reason, you feel like you have to. You feel like, you know, if you're not around, if you're not there, they can't make it without you. You wasn't there when they was born, right? Nah. You know, you cannot be somebody's crutch. You cannot be somebody's anchor. You've got to be your own crutch. You got to be your own anchor. If you stick around waiting for someone to change, you're cheating yourself. Because like I said, they done showed you who they are multiple times. You got to believe them. They come back with apologies. They come back with I'm sorries. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, but that's not good enough because we've been down this road and clearly this is a cycle and you're trying to play me. You're trying to manipulate me to stay when you're not changing. As a matter of fact, you're getting worse. And that's because I am enabling you. By me sticking around, I am enabling you. I am telling you it's okay to treat me worse than you already do. Every time it just gets worse and worse. And I'm sitting here like a fool wondering what's going on. Woe is me. I got the victim mentality. But truthfully, I'm to blame because I let this person treat me how they treat me. And I don't do nothing about it. I'm sitting here and I'm taking it. And I'm making excuses for them. Nah, we can't do that, people. We can't do that. We got to value ourselves. We got to understand our self-worth. Like, you can't just let people treat you any kind of way and think that they're entitled to be in your presence. No, we're not going for that. You got to have some self-respect. You know, like we only dealing in sincere apologies. We only dealing in, oh, you serious. You actually want to change. You are not playing. I see you. You are actually taking action to change. You're not just talking, right? You coming different and you mean it this time. Like you actually mean it. You're not playing around. You got to show and prove though. We're not just going to give you the keys and let you go crazy. Nah, you got to come in correct. You got to show and prove that you are who you say you are, right? I'm not opposed to second chances because we all do things. We all make mistakes. And a lot of times we going off what we know at the time, right? How we feel at the time. We all make mistakes. There's no one on the earth that's never made a mistake. But it's what you do to correct that mistake. How you come forward to correct that mistake. Are you coming in with like arrogance? Are you coming in with entitlement? Or are you truly coming in being sorry? Are you truly regretful for your past actions? Like, I feel like people people need to take a look in the mirror sometimes, and they need to really like break down why they do certain things, why they act a certain way. We sometimes don't stop long enough in the mirror to look and see what's the true cause behind our action. Do we really love ourselves like we think? Or do we just love attention? Do we just love validation? Do we just believe the nice things that people say about us and ignore the bad things or the things we got to work on so we could truly be better? We ignore the bad things and call them a hater and just focus on all the good things that people say about us, the things that people sometimes are just stroking your ego with to make you feel good so they can get you to do whatever they want you to do. But you know what I find? I find like, for me, I'm not really in the business of making you feel good. Not like that. Like, if you're truly doing something, and I think that what you're doing is cool and it's making a difference, I give you your prop, no doubt. I give you your respect. I give you your respect. But I'm not going to just throw words out there to just throw words out there. You know what I mean? If you ain't doing shit, I'm not going to be like, oh, you killing it. Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be like, you need to step your game up because you really ain't doing shit. What you think you're doing is not what you're doing. You're doing the opposite of what you think you're doing. So if you really want to be on what you're talking about, I would recommend you do X, Y, Z. But that's just me. To be honest with you, I don't want to see nobody live a lie. I would much rather you stand in your truth. I would much rather see you shine and be excellent and be great at whatever it is you're doing. I don't want to see you look stupid. I'm not going to feed you lies so that way when you standing in front of a group or a crowd and you talking that talk and they like looking at you funny because you're not really ready for that stage. You're not ready for that environment because everybody asked you and nobody was honest with you about what you needed to work on to actually be ready for what you were doing. I'm not going to do that. It's either I will help you if you ask for my help. You need help with something to get better at something. You need somebody to role play with. I got you. You need somebody to help point you in the right direction. If it's an area that I'm familiar with, I have some expertise in, I got you. And if I don't know, maybe I know someone that does have the experience and the knowledge to share that can help you advance in whatever it is you're trying to do. But all of this, it stems from real love, yo. Like real love, real care, really wanting to help others. It's bigger than just you. It's not always about you. Sometimes we have things that we got to do as a people to help shift the energies on the planet. Like Sometimes we got things that's bigger than us that we got to do to restore balance on the planet. Because a lot of y'all don't even understand the planet is an actual living being, a living entity. The planet lives, it's alive. A lot of y'all don't even know that. Y'all think it's just something you walk on, something you live on. But it's an actual, the planet has an energy, it has a spirit. It's alive. And we all coexist with this planet. All of our energies are intertwined with this planet. So if our energies are going too far to the left or too far to the right, it's going to affect the planet. Could be negative, could be positive, but really what we striving for is balance. Yin and yang, balance. And that's what we want actually in our relationships too. Balance. We don't want it to be too crazy. We don't want it to be too lit. You know, it's got to be balanced in everything. So if you got a partner and there's no balance, you're going to feel it. If it's always chaotic, if nothing seems to be going right in a relationship, and you know what's crazy, y'all? I'm going to tell you something. Your relationships can affect your money. I'm going to say that again. Your relationships can affect your money. The energy in your relationship can affect the level and the heights of your prosperity. Because if you're in the wrong relationship, you're not going to be blessed. You're going to be struggling. It's going to seem like you can never have nothing. It's going to seem like everything is always out of balance. It's going to seem like every time you pay a bill, here comes a new one that's even higher. It's going to seem like you just can't find peace. And that's because your whole relationship is out of balance. You don't even know that's the cause. You think it's just life. Nah. The people that we surround ourselves with on the daily is so much more important than we realize. We got to wake up. We can't just take things for face value. We got to look at the deeper meaning behind these things. Like, people think they could just get with anybody and the thing ain't going to be great. Because people put up a facade for the first 5-6 months and they think that's who they're getting with. And once they get with them, it's a totally different thing. And so now you stuck in something you may not want to be in because now you got entanglements. You saw a picture. You thought the grass was greener. You went over there and you found out the grass is dead. They just covered it up with some green spray to make it look nice. But the grass was dead. We gotta think before we enter some of these things, man, because everybody ain't for you, unfortunately. A lot of times people just out for themselves, and it's just selfish behavior. I wish it were different. I wish people wouldn't be like that. I wish people didn't think that in every relationship they go into, they're going to get taken advantage of because of their past experiences. Every relationship is not the same. But I understand why you feel that way. But I also understand you really gotta understand how to actually vet people. You gotta learn how to actually vet people, how to actually see if people are who they say they are. You gotta learn that skill. Because even in 6 months of somebody pretending, you always see something. You just choose to ignore it because of what you think the payoff is. Don't ignore your gut. Don't ignore the signs. I want y'all to really get into the practice of loving yourself, because you can't love others unless you love yourself. You got to really get in touch with yourself. You really got to you got to love you. How do you expect someone else to love you if you don't love you? You got to love you. You got to feel good about you. Like, that's the secret. You want to know how people are able to control a room? When they walk in the room and all eyes turn and they looking at them like, damn, what do they have? I'm going to tell you what they have. They got self-love, for one thing. And that self-love, they've built up on that self-love. So now they have other qualities and attributes that make them more attractive. And when they walk into a room, people can sense the energy. People can feel the shift. But it all starts with love. Specifically self-love. If you're trying to get there, that's the first key. But yo, it's your boy God's Chosen. It's been fun. I'll get up with y'all on the next episode. I'm out.